Hi, everybody. Welcome to the 2021 National No-Till Conference. My name is Eric Mauer with Newdorf, USA. You may remember us from last year at the welcome reception. We had a great time there. And looking forward to share the next few minutes with you to discuss Ferroxx slug and snail bait. I'm going to talk about the problem, a little bit of background on slug and snail activity, how slugs and snails can affect crops, how to minimize that damage, and give you a little quick introduction into Ferroxx. So really, slugs are one of the biggest challenges in no-till cropping systems and can significantly limit yield. They feed on seedlings, crop residue, and cover crops. One of the challenges really is there is no economic threshold based on slug numbers or feeding damage on when to apply a pest control product for slugs. A little bit on slug and snail activity. Eggs hatch in early May, normally, depending on where you are, but generally speaking in early May. During the summer, juveniles dive down into the soil to cool off when it's hot and dry. More adults will survive following a mild winter. They are very difficult to locate during the day and even in low winds. And scouting is important. Usually when you see one slug, there are a lot more around. And crop damage. Slugs feed on the cover crop as well as the crop and can completely take out a plant or slow early growth and affect yields. And no-tilled fields are impacted the most severely. This is just a little bit of an example of what you can anticipate and what the crop damage, in this case in corn, would look like. So there's a few ways you can minimize slug and snail damage. You can use a cover crop to provide an alternate food source, which I know many of you do. Delaying planting until the plant growth is more rapid will improve the chance of the crop to be able to outgrow any potential damage. And of course, there's Ferroxx slug and snail bait as an alternative. Now, many of these options will still require the use of a slug bait, depending on the pest pressure. This is just an example of what Ferroxx slug and snail bait looks like. It is a very excellent formulation, micropellet technology, and enables the product to be used very, very effectively and efficiently. Just a little quick update on the label. It is a broad and flexible label. The typical rate is in the 7 to 10 pound per acre range. And you can apply this to the whole field or just low-lying areas depending on pest pressure. Very broad, very flexible label. Just to give you a quick idea on the comparison to metaldehyde or deadline in terms of efficacy, as you can see at comparable rates, the efficacy is comparable. And just another little slide to show the comparison in efficacy and the rate response with Ferroxx. As you can see here, Ferroxx 10 pounds per acre and deadline 10 pounds per acre or metaldehyde, you're going to see comparable efficacy 14 days after treatment and even improved efficacy over deadline at 7 days after treatment. Mode of action, what's important to note here is that slugs stop feeding immediately as soon as they ingest Ferroxx. Some of the advantages of Ferroxx over other baits has got the micropellet technology. And what's most important is that there's 3 times as many pellets per pound compared to the competitor. And this will ensure slugs are more likely to find the bait. This just gives you an idea of how many feeding points or pellets there are per 10 pound at a rate of 10 pounds per acre. Nearly 400,000 over 400,000 pellets per acre for Ferroxx, and just about 145,000 pellets per acre for deadline. Some really nice advantages of Ferroxx. You have a shelf life of 5+ years, so no worries, especially since slugs don't show up every year. So it's important to have that adequate shelf life to cover you there. And iron-based baits retain greater efficacy than metaldehyde at lower temperatures. As I noted earlier, slugs hatch in May when temperatures can be a little bit cooler. So it's important to show here that the iron-based baits are more effective at cooler temperatures than deadline. Some other excellent advantages, most importantly, is that it's long-lasting and resistant to rain and watering, and it can be used around pets and wildlife. So it is a non-toxic alternative to other baits in the marketplace. As you can see here, even when submerged in water, Ferroxx hold up while competitor pellets dissolve. This is really important because the pellet will then be less likely to move after a significant rain event. Just a bit on Ferroxx. I hope you had an opportunity to check this out. Stop by and say hello. Thank you so much. If you have any questions and comments, here is my contact information. Have a wonderful day.